Self-righteous. All right. Welcome to the Smoke and Mirrors podcast, your destination for the latest in streaming and movie news and reviews. We are your hosts, Rob, Dave, and Triz.
Yeah.
Today, we'll be talking through our first looks at the Machine and Swarm trailers that we got and find out what Guillermo del Toro's next project at Netflix will be and the magical, legal, exciting, and sad happenings at Warner Brothers right now. We're also going to give you our thoughts on Shrinking Episode 6, Imposter Syndrome. Now let's start the show.
Yeah.
How you guys going?
You good, dog? Nice
Living the life?
Little lazy Sunday there.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
I like it. Lazy Sunday hits different every once in a while.
Yeah. Played some Hogwarts.
Deep in the Hogwarts, is it, mate?
Yeah, man.
Liking it?
Got my broom today. It was fire.
Only thing is,
I was just cruising.
Broom.
Yeah. I beat that bitch's best time as well. She want to come through 2 minutes 20. I beat her by 1:58 and some change, my friend. She's got no chance. No chance.
I love it because you go you go tell her and she's like, "You cheated."
No, I did not.
Be jealous.
I had a good day, busy day, a lot of traveling back and forth, but yeah, quite productive. Got my my bookshelf in here with all the 4Ks happening.
Beautiful,
nice. I'm a busy
just
man.
Change the setup just a little bit, maybe. We'll see. Give you a little 4K action. You know what I mean?
You know what you should do now? Get yourself a nice little NAS network storage. Get yourself a nice little Zedo, and you'll be able to stream all them 4K movies.
That just sounds like extra time and extra work, and I was just like, yeah.
Not if you clone one of my drives first.
Yeah, you just get a little head start. All right, let's kick it off. Let's get in some trailers here. So we got a first look at Sebastian Maniscalco and Robert De Niro, Kim Cattrall in About My Father. This one is about it looks like it's autobiographical, based on Sebastian Maniscalco's actual father, his antics. He talks a lot about him in his stand-ups and whatnot, and it looks quite funny. The only person, and it's weird because this was the selling point for it, the only person that looks out of place is De Niro.
Yeah.
I feel like De Niro's played this hand one too many fucking times. Like, now it's his shtick.
Yeah.
And I expect this of De Niro now. Like, I want him to get back to serious movies. He puts out more comedic effort than actual serious business, and I like the serious business Bobby D.
He's an old man. You don't want to keep doing serious movies all the time.
I know, but he might as well change his fucking name to Mel Brooks now, you know what I mean?
Jesus.
Yeah.
He's got too many funnies under him. Pause.
I don't mind it. I don't think we're seeing the real, portrayal of this character in the trailer. I think there's a lot of stuff that it was more Maniscalco than anything else.
That is true. That is true. I guess it's just because he's in the comedic sort of context of the trailer that I sort of expect him to be the comic relief. He might be playing it pretty straight.
Yeah. You know, every time Maniscalco's on, I think Fallon. Yeah, every time he's on Fallon, you know his dad's in the back.
That's
He's always there, and his dad will talk to Jimmy more than Sebastian will. Sebastian can't get a fucking word in when his dad.
My father. I did like the aspect of the trailer where he goes back and he's sort of like, well, my father said this, and this to me rings true. So it's almost like he's trying to push his father to the side because he thinks that he's embarrassing him, but then he sees some of the shit that he's doing, and it's like, well, that's part of my identity. And then it looks like they end up like knowing each other even more because they're exactly the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they would be. You end up becoming your parents anyway.
That is true.
Yeah. For better or for worse, you do.
Yeah.
What's
Hey, it
this?
looks alright.
It looks all right. It looks like it doesn't look like it's going to be all what's his face that all comedy, which is great. It does look like it is going to get serious.
Mm.
I've heard it described as like a dramedy, so it could be some real shit coming.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
That's the substance right there.
Are they going to drop that cancer? You know, De Niro's.
Don't go there, mate. Like,
You
that's
know
why
they
he's
are.
like sort of trying to reconnect with the son and
His
everything.
mother
Yeah,
probably just died as well. And
yeah, nah, I
Yeah.
get that. I get that.
yeah, yeah. You know it's going to go down.
It's
Give
funny.
a little bit.
I just watched that fucking. I just watched that episode of fucking House where Chase's dad comes back. They're like, "Why are you here?" "I'm doing a conference." And he's like, "No. Man's got cancer. Came to see Chase for the last time."
Patrick Bowchow. That's the man from
Pretender.
The Pretender. I think
He
his
is.
name was Sydney or something in there as well.
Yeah. Also, the cell.
Yes.
Just always remember the old Bow Chow there. I'm probably
Yeah.
fucking up his name badly.
Bow Chow.
Also, yeah. Also, what's his face? Panic Room. I think. Is that him? Is that him?
Yeah,
in
it
Panic
is.
Room?
It is. That was the X.
Yeah.
How did he bag Foster?
I don't know. But Foster was a piece of ass in that movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jesus, have you seen how old Michael T. Weiss is now? Dude looks
Jeez.
like.
Is that the actual Pretender?
That's
Yeah.
Jared.
Yeah.
Jared, stop it. I just showed up as a fireman or fucking like I'm a surgeon and shit, just faked his way throughout.
He was Doogie Howser.
He was.
What do you call it? Guy looks like he could have been in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
Badder.
So the next trailer that we got was we got a full trailer. A full trailer. I think we got like a little teaser at the start of the year, but we got our first full trailer, Red Band, which is always great, of The Machine. It's the Bert Kreischer. It's weird that we're forward. This is like another father sort of movie. But yeah, this is like the Bert Kreischer movie where his father always thought that machine story wasn't real. That he told the machine story that literally blew up Bert's career.
Yeah.
Which is the greatest story. What's his face? They get kidnapped by Russians. They get taken to Russia. It's wild that they're releasing this movie right now, considering the political climate that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this actually looks pretty good, man.
Doesn't look too bad. Mark Hamill is doing the most in here.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I appreciate when Hamill like steps out and he's comedic. But he's done a lot of comedy.
Yeah.
I love Hamill in what's his face? In Kingsman.
Yeah.
That little role.
And Jay and Silent Bob strikes back.
Yeah.
As cock knocker.
Oh
man,
yeah. Come on. You will shit.
Yeah. This one looks great.
Yeah.
This one looks pretty funny. It looked hilarious how he was like, now you have to party with me. And he's just fucking shot Nemo's up.
Oh, man. Bert can drink, though.
Yeah. Bert just had a heart thing, didn't he?
I think so.
But every time he does a show, I see him surrounded by people with bottles of alcohol.
What do you mean? Bert like part of Bert's show, he'll just say at the end of it, where are we partying tonight? And he'll tell the crowd, I'm partying here, come through. And they will just have a massive fucking party.
That's
and
crazy.
He does that at every show.
That's wild.
He's a wild boy, man. He's a Florida man. That's probably why.
Yeah. That doesn't sound good for like, long term.
No,
Tell you that much.
Stop.
It's scary. Yeah.
Otherwise, we're gonna
Um,
lose Bert like everybody else.
like Farley. That's
Yeah.
all I think about. When I think about that behavior, I think about Farley.
Yeah.
And Bert
Yeah.
can be fucking hilarious just by being Bert.
That's what I love about Bert is that he doesn't try.
Hmm.
Like Bert is naturally just that way, just
Yeah.
fucking hilarious. Like just with the shit, like that Kool-Aid. I watch that
Yeah. Oh,
Kool-Aid
man.
sometimes, and I still laugh.
Yeah. And Bert says fuck all in that clip.
No,
He says basically nothing. It's all Segura doing the talking.
reacting, reacting to
Yeah.
Bert. There is a video that just came out recently. Bert just did a podcast, and he's watching this guy do stand up, and the guy like trips and falls off the stage, and Bert's like fucking crying, yeah. And he's crying, and he's like, "That'd be the funniest he's ever been."
Oh man, poor guy.
That's the best laugh. Everybody needs a
Yeah.
friend like Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, I think
Like
so too.
he is the just the best, man.
Yeah. And then the last trailer there was Swarm, which is a full look at the show. And I swear, it's almost like Jordan Peele playing Donald Glover playing Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It felt like that sort of tone. I know we said this for the first look,
What's his name?
but
What's his name in what's his face, Mr. Who?
Mr. Who?
In Atlanta,
Ern?
the Tyler Perry character.
Oh, Mr. Chocolate. Oh, shit. That was Donald Glover, too.
Whoa.
I think this is the first time that I've been burnt by grits. Fucking hell. Oh, shit. Yeah, I mean, this just looks crazy.
Yeah.
They do the song switch up with "Where Is My Mind."
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it. But at first, I wasn't really feeling. I got 5 on it. That switch up as well. But they just used it so perfectly in Us.
Yeah. But then they don't play it like that in the movie though. You know what I mean? And it's actually in the movie.
Yeah,
And it serves a big sort of plot thing for the
Yeah.
movie.
yeah. They do revisit it at the end there. Because they actually do play Looney's vocals. I got 5 words. Yeah, anyways. Swarm, yeah, just gives us that same imagery that we got in that first look, but just expands on it. Just with the toxic fandom, with that sort of I don't know. It's almost like she's counting on this pop star to make these moves, and then she just goes off the fucking rails.
Yeah. She it looks like she's a hairdresser or something, and it looks like she does her hair
Yeah,
as well. These pop stars, so like it's obviously thinks that they're friends and all that sort of stuff, and
yeah.
she just runs with it.
And she's also got a friend, and it seems like they were massive fans back in the day.
Yeah,
And one of them grew out of it, and the other one did not, which is Dominique Fishback. Yeah.
Doback.
Yeah. That's dropping soon. That's
I'm
around the corner.
Like I'm gonna watch this. It looks good, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
2
these
weeks.
types of. I love these types of films. You know what I mean? Like the fan, like the fan didn't hit back in the day, right? There's a different, like we didn't really know where fandom was gonna go. Yeah, what's his face got shot by a fan, Lennon and all that, but that was about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at celebrities, like they're in your face 24/7. You know what I mean? Constantly reminding you of them. So you're like the different fandom now. next level.
I hope they go into that,
Yeah.
the social media aspect, because as soon as social media hit and like, you know, you have videos and whatnot, it's almost like these celebrities are saying, hey, we're friends until you meet them in real life. And it's like, get the fuck away from me. What are you doing? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So like there's that barrier between fandom.
Yeah.
We're not really like that. So it's just something that I put out to
Yeah.
get you to follow me, but I don't really give a fuck about you. And then there's that betrayal.
Yeah. Yeah, the betrayal, and then the what's his face, the psychosis, and what that would do to a person. I mean, you essentially love
Yep.
this person, but they don't know anything about you.
Yeah.
Mm.
They don't even know what you look like in real life, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's almost reminiscent of The Incredibles, with Buddy turning into Syndrome after trying to be Incrediboy.
First toxic fan.
Wow.
Incrediboy, you're not affiliated with me. But no, that looks like I'm loving with a lot of these trailers for streamers now, where we're getting them a month, you know, couple weeks out, where we get our full trailer, and then everything's all good to go.
Yeah. Why are streaming and like HBO and shit, why are they putting out better trailers than the studios? You notice that? Like Amazon, Netflix, and HBO will put out much better promo materials than something like Marvel, which will be just middle of the road, normal, expected bullshit
This is the
with massive spoilers.
This is the redemption arc now, dog. Fucking all these streamers are coming up compared to all of our, like, you know, big body theatrical movies and shit that's coming. This is where they come in and just like prove their worth now compared to back in the day.
Yeah, but with that, I think that's why all the creative talent is moved towards streamers.
Yeah.
There's very little, well, not very little, but there's obviously creative people working at the major studios, but it's almost like that's where they get the work, the streamer.
It's the content, B. They've actually got the content down. You know what I mean? So they actually have the content to actually cut a proper trailer together. I don't have to wait for visual effects to do this. I don't have to wait for them to do that. This is all green screen here. Like, there's none of that. Oh, okay, we shot all this in camera. Let's get it done. Cut that trailer together. Let's go.
That's true.
Master it.
That's also
Mix
true.
it. Let's go. Send it through.
Fuck,
That's
it's
what
cool.
it is.
Hopefully this
I think
is
it's all those things.
Yeah.
This is the war we need. Fucking the streamer versus like theatrical war, because then they just try and one up each other, and hopefully that is the case. Can you imagine how good this shit would be between the two of them? Fucking hell. And then the predator handshake comes in because there's a new enemy. It's something else, but I don't know. Sports is coming back or something.
Sports never lose. You know what the highest thing is every single week when it's on? It's NFL. Can't beat those numbers.
True. What do you call it? Thing I found out the other day, there's an esports gaming organization, the Guard, that recently dropped all of their social media and apparel coordinators, like just fired all of them. The O that owns the Guard is the same O that owns KFC and Arsenal and all that. Martin Stronk or whatever his name is. Yeah, same guy. Like they're talking about, because there's a huge decline in esports organizations right now. Like a lot of them are going under. And they're saying that maybe the way to fix that is to have like big organizations actually own not just the organization, but a lot of other things too, to keep them funded throughout, like, you know, the life of their fucking careers. Yeah, that's just a tangent.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. But moving on, so back in 2008, we got Tropic Thunder, right? One of the best fucking movies. Still a directed as well. Now, obviously this is back in like the dark ages if you compare it for the internet. While there was backlash for this movie, just considering, like, you know, the components of the film as well. So we had Downey Jr. We also had bloody Simple Jack or Ben Stiller doing the mentally disabled character in that film. A lot of people on Twitter, they were like, never ever apologize for Tropic Thunder. And Stiller replied, and he was like, I've never ever apologized for Tropic Thunder. I still think the work we did on that was great. And he continues to explain that this wasn't about like putting down something else. It was just about what actors would do for a paycheck and an Oscar nomination. That was the whole story of this movie.
Fuck it out.
Yeah, badly. Perfectly said.
So big with that movie. Like they made obviously their budget back because it made $192 million on a $92 million budget. And what's his face got an Oscar nomination, man? Downey. Like, which is why would you like, yeah. Osiris. Like wild with the thinking like that's the man that won the Oscar.
Yeah.
And nearly won an Oscar.
Yeah.
And never do that though.
And he was honest about what he said in the movie as well. He didn't drop that shit until DVD commentary. He does that shit in the actual commentary.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Amazing.
All right. So everybody's seen the what's his face by now. The terrible rendering that they did for MODOK in Ant-Man 3. It's disgusting, yeah. I've heard people say that what's his face Zordon looks better, right? It's from Power Rangers TV show. Yeah. There was also people referring it to some old 70s bloody what's his face UK show as well that supposedly looked terrible. So Marvel, like they've been having a problem with special effects lately, because these guys are just overrun. I mean, we're talking about it's COVID era. It's like you can't get shit done. Everyone's at home. Everyone was locked down, and they're only just sort of coming into the offices and all that now. Yeah. So they were talking about Ant-Man 3, and one of the guys was like, talking about it, and they said, all they do is change things up. Like they'll want us to go in and change a whole scene for them. Like, why couldn't they just have shot it the right way the first time? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? Like, it takes so much more time to get this right now because everything in the scene now. Everything needs to change. So it's a lot of crunch, which is them working like 20 hours a day on this movie. This isn't the only movie some of them will work on, and they're extremely understaffed right now.
So,
I mean, you look at the show like Lord of the Rings, you know what I mean? That's supposed that had a movie budget, obviously, and had a movie budget for the special effects. These guys can't get it done, man. You have Wetter have been out for the last 3-4 years, working with Cameron to make what's his face, Lord of the Rings, and on top, not Lord of the Rings,
Avatar.
And on top of that, they're doing all these other movies. They did The Bear and Cocaine Bear.
Yeah. Just
like,
Spider in that Sting movie.
Yeah. Like these guys have just worked off their feet. I think it's going to come to a place soon where it's going to go back to how it was, man. Block that. All right, cool. That's our shot. Yep. Fill this in here. Sweet. That's where our visual effects are going to go.
Nice.
It's going to end up becoming cheaper to do that in camera than it is visual effects, because that's the difference right now.
100%.
It's also the changes that they make in the third movie after, which is in production, or the show, has ramifications down the line story-wise. So then they need to change this effect shot to aid that story beat down the road. And it's like, I get it because of spinning plates and whatnot, because it's like a twofold problem. There's a story problem, because they've obviously planned out the movies that they're going to make and the shows and shit like that.
Yeah.
But then there's massive shortage. So wouldn't you compensate for that and just be like, we're locking this the fuck in?
They should.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. The other part of this is Stephen Yeun. So Invincible himself is joining the MCU. He's going to make his debut in Thunderbolts in an undisclosed role. I think it's that Asian character from what's his face, to be honest. From Wolverine.
Mm.
You know the not the Wolverine. X-Men Origins Wolverine. You know that guy that's in there, Secret Agent, I think his name.
Agent Zero.
Agent Zero. I think he's going to be Agent Zero. I think he'd fit well into that team.
There's also rumblings that he could be Sentry.
I don't know.
Sentry is one of the most powerful because he's also going to have not just this role, but multiple roles in the MCU.
Yeah. So hopefully it's good. But like, you know, I'm hoping it's just not like one and done with that man. Because Steven Yeun's a good actor.
He is.
And I'd rather him do some other movie than do a fucking Marvel movie, to tell you the truth. Like,
same. I feel like he's wasted here.
Yeah.
Just quickly on the wetter shit, did you know that with their workshop tours, if you go with the proper like actual tourist attraction thing, they Jurassic Park you and they take you into the back and show them as working on their projects?
It's autoerotic.
Is this autoerotic? Jackson comes out himself. Hello, Peter. Hello, Peter. That's bad. I'll book me in for that.
It's free. It's all free. Yeah, it's all free to go to the Weta Workshop. They you just go in for, so they have like time schedules for like the tours, but it's all free on entry. I was checking before because out there in Wellington they've got that, and then they've got the Te Papa, the Morticulture Museum there as well. And apparently it's also the destination for food there in the South Island.
Said all you need to say. Say less.
It is say that. He's gonna go in there and eat up all their lambs. I swear to
God. All right. So moving into some other news there about the Oscars. So after last year's turbulent events between Mr. Rock and Mr. Smith, the Oscar ceremony this year will include a crisis team. This crisis team will be responsible for the intervention should anything happen, should it happen. But I think it's more of like a bark sort of tactic where they're saying, hey, this team's here if anything happens and no one shows out.
What are they going to do?
I don't know. They're making it out like they're going to fucking have like snipers or tranquilizers and shit on there.
That's what I was going to say. Are they just going to hold everyone back like NWA? How they're like, you cannot perform. F the police.
But yeah, I think they're doing seriously. If
to me,
do it, they'll do it.
That's right. But I think this is more PR shit. So it's almost like, will we need the crisis team this year? Find out at this year's Oscars.
You know what's crazy is that in that trailer that what's his face did,
Kimmel,
the Top Gun one that he did, they make a fucking joke about it. So what are we doing here? How are they joking about it a year later? Will Smith is banned for how many 10 years or whatever it is. They blackballed him with fucking what's his face,
Emancipation.
Like how does no one from that movie get nominated? That's what I don't get. No visual effects, no sound effects, no nothing. There's no story. Like what's going on here?
Cinematography should have been nominated.
Exactly.
At least cinematography. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, the Oscars. You know what? The Oscars is exciting because I like to see people getting recognized. I just hate that this is the metric for which people go, "That's a ballin' movie." Know what I mean? Or this is the best movie, but then they sit down, they watch it, and then they never watch that movie again for the next 20 years, but they always just recite to other motherfuckers that, hey, have you watched Nomadland? Because that is the fucking best movie of 2020, whatever.
Bullshit.
And everyone watches it, and it's dog shit.
When did?
I'd never watch it again. It's all right. It's not bad.
Yeah, but I'm never watching that. For me, you need to be able to watch a movie more than once.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why Top Gun is the perfect nomination.
Top Gun should win Best Picture. They should be sucking Tom Cruise off at that fucking
fucking 100%.
at ceremony, because all those fuckers have a job because of him.
Yeah.
Because he told them, "Go fuck yourself. I've got this movie in the can already. I've had it for 2 fucking years, bitch. I'm only releasing it when the people can go back into the cinemas." And what did he do? He brought the people into the fucking cinemas.
That's right.
And you know what? Cruise is going to continue to bring people into the fucking cinemas. Just watch. Summer is around the fucking block. Part 1, Dead Reckoning, is on its way. And we've already seen the shit that he's doing now to fucking promote the finishing of that filming for Part 2. So you can imagine what's going to happen.
I'm telling you, if he's showing us that stunt, that's not the biggest stunt in that movie. He's got something crazy planned. Jimmy Kimmel asked him, because he was on Kimmel's show for 15 minutes, which is quite a bit for Cruise, especially on one of those shows. Would you jump from one plane to another plane? And Cruise said, "I will do that. We just need to figure out like the speeds and all that sort of stuff." I was like, so this man's he's thinking about it.
Yeah.
He's really thinking about it. Like, he's gonna do that.
He's probably already thought about the risk management as well. He's like, well, I've got to have this plane accelerating here so I can jump and then meet the other door. And if I don't, I've got my parachute and then I can just free fall.
He just fired the stunt coordinators until he got the right one. We could do that. Good enough. Get to work.
I'll take that as yes. You know, he doesn't tell his mom the stunts that he's gonna do.
I wouldn't. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
He said that he was talking about Rogue Nation. You know, he's on the side of that plane, and she called him up after she saw it, and she must be like a Texan or something like that, because she said, "Tommy, was that you on the side of that plane?" Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it was. Please don't tell me you're doing that again. I can only imagine what she says when she sees this.
Yeah.
She saw a YouTube video of him jumping out that plane.
God.
Jumping off that helicopter as well.
I know, he just falls.
Talking.
And tells them, "I'll try not to smile."
Unreal. Alrighty. So, for movies Bring Them Down, we were originally meant to have Tom Burke and Paul Mescal in the roles in that film. They've been replaced by Barry Keoghan as well as Christopher Abbott. So I completely forgot where Movies was from. But this is the story that follows Chris Abbott, and he's the last son of a shepherding family. But it seems like as his father's passing, there's this like massive secret that no one knows that now he has to have the burden of holding on to. And with this secret, there's another family across the way, which is where Keoghan's character comes in, and they start having a feud as well. But then this secret comes like, undone, and shit just hits the fan.
A feud.
It's funny to think of like two farms having a feud.
Yeah.
Probably like more likely than you think.
Yeah, true. Actually, I can see
just
that.
What's that movie? Angry Old Man or whatever.
Grumpy
Old Man. That's the one. Probably like that. You stole my cow, Cletus.
And I want her back.
That's my wife.
All right. So it looks like there's a little shake-up over there at HBO. So they greenlit, what's it called? Dead Boy Detectives. Last year already, right? Gave it a full series. Maybe they didn't like the way it was performing, or maybe they're testing the waters with DC and what they could do over there at Netflix. But now this show is coming out on Netflix.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So they say it's a fresh take on the ghost story that was written by Neil Gaiman and Matt Wagner. They did the comic originally, sort of graphic novel, I should say. So yeah, it's about loss, grief, and death through these two dead British teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah, who actually have an alive friend as well. So
Hmm.
I don't know. See how it goes. I'm hoping it does really well, and we get more DC content over there, because then finish off that Snyderverse, my friend. And
Yeah.
finally
Well,
get to see Deathstroke fight. What's his face? Batman.
hell yeah. Well, that's
the only
what Gunn
reason
was
why.
saying. He said we're not thinking of Elseworlds films as the content that we work with Netflix on. This is like, definitely testing that pipeline pause.
Yeah. It's deep.
So Guillermo del Toro is planning a adaptation of Buried Giant at Netflix. So this one is about this British couple, and Axel and Beatrice. So they're living in this fictional post-Arthurian England. I know. So it would mean that the events of that play heavily in what they're sort of experiencing now. But in this timeline, no one has the ability to retain long-term memories.
He was smoking too much.
Yeah. So then this will be a stop motion type thingy. So he's going on with his Pinocchio run.
I don't know.
Could be good. I think the thing that weighed Pinocchio down was he didn't want to stick that landing, or just make that call and finish strong. He wanted to keep it very vague, and it probably suits his sensibilities more than it does the Disney one. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing him use that tech for something that isn't a like an open source property, like Pinocchio.
Yeah.
If he had followed this shit up with, like, I don't know, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, something like that, it'd just be weird.
I reckon that he will probably do a Hunchback movie for Disney, to tell you the truth.
That'd be fine.
Yeah, you don't know. What was I gonna say? That means there's magic in this world. It means Merlin's in this world.
I hope so. That'd be fire.
I can see Merlin casting that spell for no long-term memory. You know what no long-term memory means, right? There's no get back. There's no revenge. There is nothing, right?
Peace. Nice.
It's the only way you have peace.
I wonder if Arthur died by someone killing him, and then Merlin casts a spell so that no one goes out and seeks war.
Yeah,
for the killing.
He understands that it's just not either. It's not worth it, and all those people would die.
Yeah,
that'd be so weird to see that in the film as well. Can you imagine people just like distraught, and then as the spell hits, it's like they just, all right, I'm back to happy now. I'm gonna go about my daily.
Well, they in theory they'd be distraught for a day,
right?
Until they go to sleep or something like that, and then that's it.
That's so trippy, man.
Could be a cool concept.
It is.
I'm excited for anything that GDT does.
What do you call it? Del Toro's probably listening with his pad out, and old mate, what's his name? The one that we claimed as an Australian that did Doctor Sleep and all that, Midnight Club.
Flanagan.
Yeah,
Flanagan.
He's probably there as well. Alrighty. So we have Ryan Reynolds, who's developing a boy band movie.
Mm.
And this is going to be with Sean Levy. So Sean Levy is attached as a producer and possibly the director for the film as well. Probably will be, considering Sean Levy seems to be Ryan Reynolds' go-to guy for all his like films.
Yeah.
But from early reports, it sounds like it's going to be a boy band reunion movie. So maybe he's going to take all them spicy dance moves from Spirited and then pop it into this.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if Will Ferrell is one of the boy band as well.
That would be hilarious.
Or
Or
if
the
he's
old
their
manager or
manager.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs to
Yeah.
be like that deep voice guy in the group. That's who Farrell needs to be. That'd be the best, actually.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Man, this sounds cool. And this one's going to be over at Paramount. I don't know if this is going to be straight to streaming or if it's going to be a theater flick, but we'll see.
It's Ryan Reynolds, so they want to put this out to as many eyes as possible. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
All right. So quickly, Christopher Landon gave a little update on Arachnophobia, the remake, which like we were talking about last week because we had all the spider news. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's another week, some more spider news, spider movie news. So he's saying that it's very much on track. He is just finishing up. I can't remember what movie he's doing. But he is finishing that up, and Arachnophobia, that remake, will definitely be his next film, which is exciting because I want to see what they're gonna do this time, man. Like, I mean, last time it was, it looked like a tarantula and a huntsman mated, which is wild.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how we got that.
Hopefully, it's good because arachnophobia is fuck.
Mm.
So Hugh Jackman was talking on a radio show, and he said the Wolverine role damaged his voice. So from all the screaming and yelling and stuff, he had to push what he was trained on. So when an actor screams, he's usually trained, or he's trained to scream without damaging his voice. But because of all the screaming that he did as Wolverine, it's done long-term damage and destroyed his falsetto. So because of that, he's now working with a singing coach to bring it all up to speed. I don't know. If I got the Wolverine role, vocal cords be damned. I'm screaming.
I would love if this was all fake and this was all part of Deadpool 3. And he's like a very quiet Wolverine in this one.
If he starts singing in Deadpool 3, that'll be fucking hilarious.
Yeah. That would be good. With costume changes as well.
The only other thing I want from Deadpool 3 is that suit from the deleted scene.
Yeah.
The yellow and brown, though. I don't want the yellow and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want the yellow and brown.
That'd be crazy.
It's still a dream of mine to see the fucking, remember the victory pose for Wolverine where he pulls the mask down and he lights the cigar?
Yeah.
I still want to see that because that shit's cool to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Hopefully.
Alrighty, so Jason Eisner, so the man who directed Hobo with a Shotgun.
Yeah.
He actually had a pitch for Paramount Pictures to do like this R-rated Casey Jones flick over there. Yeah, so this one was it wasn't gonna have Shredder, but it was gonna have Shredder's daughter Karai as the villain in here, the main villain. And apparently the last act of this film had him teaming up with Raphael, but it wasn't going to be any normal Raph. It was going to be the 1990s Raph.
Oh man.
And it would have been fucking cool. Can you imagine if he came an R-rated, TMNT? Even if it was just not the violence but the swearing, it would be cool because it's New York. But then fucking thingy, the violence, if it was like breaking bones and shit like that, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine seeing Raph fuck people up ninja mode? Like full breaking arms and legs and shit like that. And if they had some quality guys like 8711 choreographing and they actually shot that shit where it wasn't just like close-up ninja moves, like they actually showcased the action the way it's supposed to be. Because even when you pull back, it kind of looks trash. You just see everything like Dark Knight.
If it was the final act of Ninja Assassin, if that's what they went for, it would be fucking cool.
Oh
If it
yeah.
was just that, or even just the chase in the second act of Ninja Assassin, how he's running away from those guys, but he's still fighting them like that too.
Yeah. See this, man. Be sick.
Yeah.
Mad if it started off as an old Casey Jones telling the story and it was Elias Koteas.
Fucking oath.
But the coolest, well, not the coolest thing, but Manganiello said he would love to play Casey Jones if this was the case. But Manganiello also seems like he's like 6'7" and just a house.
Yeah. He does.
You got to remember, Casey Jones loved hockey.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
You'd have to be pretty in shape and pretty big to play hockey. You have to be. Otherwise, you just get fucking slammed. So young blood.
If they even did like a little story where he got kicked out of the hockey league for being too rough, like after the events of TMNT, whatever, and then like he comes back to just fuck the streets up.
I went
this one's for the streets.
I went straight back to Mean Machine when you said that, and this was before he learned karate.
I don't like the him too rough, because then it makes him look like a bully. Someone needs to hurt him enough to what's his face that he has to leave the league. He's got like a fucked up back or something.
Someone broke his leg on the ice.
Broke his ankle on the ice, so he can't skate properly anymore.
Yeah.
That's goon. What we're describing.
It is good.
Yeah, very
it is
much.
good. As if Goon went out to be the enforcer on the streets too.
Oh, it's fucking
goon at home. All right, so Guy Ritchie was talking on a red carpet for it's a new movie, Operation
Operation Fortune,
yeah. And the interviewer asked him about Sherlock 3, and he said, look, I'd love to do it. This is even after what's his face said, or they announced, who did this? Warner announced that what's his name? It's not Ruben Fleischer.
Dexter
Fletcher.
Yeah.
That Dexter Fletcher was going to direct it. Richie said, I'd love to do it. I left all of this in Robert's hands. As soon as Robert says he's ready to go, I am ready to go. So we'll see what happens. RDJ's father just died, so
damn.
That's why he's sporting the shaved head. Must be something to do with his religion, something like that. But yeah. The other part of this news that they did ask him about was Aladdin 2. All right, so he said he'd love to do that. He'd love to get over there to Disney to do that. He said that they have sort of spoken about it and gone back and forth on a few sort of things, but he's got a good story and he'd love to go back there. It's funny that Richie became like, just go to for like blockbuster films.
Yeah.
That guy. His turnaround is amazing though.
It's crazy.
Because he still sticks to I'll do a big movie and then I'll do like one or two smaller ones and then I'll do a big movie and then I'll pump out. So he's got product coming out like every year.
Yeah.
This man's got Hercules. He's supposed to do Hercules.
Yeah. I heard that too. It's crazy. Maybe that's what he's focusing on and that's why he's not sort of getting to Aladdin 2 right now. I don't think he'll do Aladdin 2, to be honest. I don't think he'll even do Sherlock 3.
Me neither. I think it's done. He's finished. He ended that quite well, though.
Yeah. 100%. It seems like he knew that he wouldn't come back for a Sherlock 3 when he was doing 2. Because he set up a lot of shit.
Yeah. And when they do, I'm the producer now, nah.
Yeah.
And if it does happen, it's not as strong.
How much did they make Sherlock for? The first one?
90?
90 million, something around there.
Yeah, because this is post Iron Man.
Yep.
This is the RDG climb back.
This
Yeah.
is I want $20 million now per film, RDJ.
Yeah. I did hear that there is a rumor going around for Sherlock 3 that they want Cavill as the villain,
I'd like that.
which
Yeah.
might play differently just because he's the younger guy.
Yeah. But he needs to be smart as well. He can't just be physical.
Yeah. Is that a thing because he was Sherlock Holmes in that Enola Holmes movie, though? Is that why people
Could
are
be.
like, he should be the bad guy in the Guy Ritchie Sherlock?
I've no idea. But what I'm seeing is if he was like Sherlock's understudy or something like that, but then pulls out pause to then become sort of villainous because he thinks that he's smarter than Sherlock. Like that'd be pretty cool. Someone that knows all of his tricks to then try and be one step ahead of that person.
Yeah.
But that's kind of Moriarty as well.
I was just about to say, this sounds like he could have just been like Moriarty's kid or something.
Moriarty was not like, I mean, like he got all of his information secondhand, right? So he was getting fed information by that chick, the love
Right.
interest. So like
Yeah.
that's why he was always a step ahead of Sherlock. But someone who's trained with him and knows how he thinks, and you know, you can put the dreams together like Will Graham. That'd be
An
really,
eye
really good.
detector.
Yeah, eye detector. Yeah, that'd be really good actually.
Well,
That's
what
a
if
good villain.
what if it was just Watson then as the bad guy?
Oh,
What if his wife died and turned him to a life of crime?
the ultimate deception.
It sounds like he was the Watson before Watson.
But he was thrown out for being too rough with the customers.
He also broke his ankle in the hockey rink.
He was the enforcer.
Being the enforcer on the soccer or cricket field is wild, son.
That is
Yeah.
wild.
You got bats and balls flying around. Like you pause, you can't can't mess around.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Getting into our legal proceedings with the WB case. So Warner Brothers Discovery has just sued Paramount over South Park content. So going back, Warner Brothers sourced or let Paramount use their content. Sorry, no, other way around. Warner got content from Paramount, which was South Park, to put on their streamer. Paramount then reneged, and with all these deals and whatnot that they've made, where they've sort of re-upped Matt Parker and Trey Stone's contract and stuff for all these movies and additional seasons and whatnot, all of those should have gotten a play over on HBO Max, but haven't yet. So Warner's is suing the pants off of Paramount because they didn't, circulate that content with them. So we'll see how this one develops because, there's a lot going on in terms of South Park. They're like, how many seasons deep in this now? Plus all the movies and whatnot.
23. Yeah.
Yeah, it's massive.
I watched that last episode. It was funny.
Yeah.
Of South Park?
Yeah. They
I haven't watched South Park in years.
They really shit all over Harry and Meghan. It was great. I loved it.
Alrighty. So, some real exciting news for me, to be honest. So, Hogwarts Legacy was just released, right? Like within the last 2 weeks. And now there's claims or like big rumors right now that HBO Max might just do like a Harry Hogwarts Legacy show as well, which is pretty cool. Like when I'm playing this game, like I was telling you, I was like offline. I forgot a couple episodes back that this might be my second favorite like Harry Potter based like story. And that's still the case for me as well. So this shit is mad because you have so much time in this universe too. because this is roughly like 200 years before Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts.
Hmm.
So you have a lot to play with. And that's mad. And on top of that, too, like most likely the reason for they want to do the show, they've already like sold 12 million units of this game too, which is $850 million US, which is unreal. On top of that, this was Europe's biggest launch, like outside of the FIFAs and Call of Duties. The last time this happened was 5 years ago when Red Dead 2 came out.
Jeez.
Yeah. So if you think about it, like 12 million, 850 and 12 million units, $850 million, they're going to cross billion easy. They've already had 152 million hours played, 144 million plants, like, sourced, half a billion dark wizards killed.
Jeez.
And the numbers just keep on going, man. Like, they're just going to stay on top.
I saw on Steam you have played that game for 65.7 hours.
Yep.
I have put in 12 hours into that game.
Damn.
What's wild is that B has played roughly maybe 20 of those hours. She's further than me in the story. I've been doing all the side missions.
Yeah. That's how I get down, dog. You know what I mean? I want to, like, be like immense levels and just like one shot bosses. Like,
What do you call it? Some guy made a TikTok where if you play in reverse, Voldemort saying Avada Kedavra looks like he's gonna try sneeze because he's always just like. But also, Oz was like a bit of a braggart with this one as well, because B was like, because she was like, I've never played any game as like complex as this before. I was like, all right, cool, play it on easy, it's fine. She was like, all right, cool, you got to play it on hard though. I'm fucking playing on hard.
I really am.
Standard.
But yeah, this is all. But this is all mad exciting news. If this gets off the ground, if they can keep this as a series and even keep it like how they are now in the game, that'd be mad. They don't need to utter Voldemort, Harry Potter, nothing like that. Just keep it where it is right now because it's so good.
Yeah,
they've been dying for some Harry Potter content. I've even seen reports that they were thinking of doing Cursed Child.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is wild.
Are they old enough now to play those characters?
How long has it been?
I think so. It's been like 15, 20 years since the first Harry Potter.
Yeah. Okay.
Harry
Brent looks old enough.
Yeah, it's
he
22 years since.
Yes, he does, mate.
12 years since Deathly Hallows Part 2 as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That man didn't age very well, did he?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
He's not aging as well as Radcliffe.
No.
Nah. Radcliffe looks like he's been pitching instead of catching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Radcliffe's like 34 years old this year. He's still young as hell.
Jesus, damn.
Yeah.
Other times to get this, like, get Cursed Child up and running, he'd be like the age.
Yeah. He'd be that age.
But he'd look better than that bullshit old age makeup that they do in Deathly Hallows Part 2. That looks so bad.
Yeah. We'll see, though. I think Daniel Radcliffe's going down the same path as Elijah Wood, where he's going to look like a child for the rest of his life.
Yeah. So staying with Warner. So the big news this week is that they're planning a new Lord of the Rings trilogy, right? What's disheartening is that they said that we are planning a new Lord of the Rings trilogy for modern audiences. So when I hear modern audiences, I think automatically they're not going to use what's in the books. It's going to be something completely just terrible. They're going to start gender swapping. They're going to start doing all that nonsense. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm not excited for this at all. We've got our Lord of the Rings movies. That's how it should be. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So Fran Boyle, Peter Jackson, what's the other lady's name?
Philippa Boyens.
Philippa Boyens.
Mm.
So they responded as well. So they've been spoken to about this as well. So I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. I need them to sort of stick to the script essentially. Like that's what Tolkien wanted, to be honest.
Yeah.
He wanted complete and utter sort of dedication to the books. Like that's exactly what he wanted. He did not want a modern retelling of all this sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Like we don't need that. Stick to the fucking books.
Yeah. I just hope they don't do any stupid shit because I don't want it based on what the vocal minority says.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the only thing.
I don't need Frodo to be black or something like that. I don't need him to be trans either. Like I don't need any of that bullshit, man.
I want to see where they're gonna set this because they said they're not remaking that original trilogy. They're not going to touch The Hobbit. So where are they playing in? Is it going to be like, there's really kind of vague time in between both timelines, but another danger has arisen that no one's seen? Like, how many fucking dangers are in Middle Earth? You know what I mean?
How would you not leave Middle Earth? Then?
Unite the banners! Wait, there's 4 cuts on the hill.
So what? The Silmarillion or whatever is they need to do?
Yeah, but they're harvesting all that content for the Lord of the Rings TV show over at Amazon.
So
where do they play in?
I thought everything was covered in these movies, like from the books.
It is.
Well,
the only thing that's not in here is the singing.
And Tom Bombadil. But nobody wanted to see some naked guy walking around the woods cartwheeling. Fruit basketing everyone. But there is, if they wanted to take it there, there's a dark age that happens before the Lord of the Rings show with Morgoth. He was the first Dark Lord, and it could chronicle his rise to power.
But then he gets usurped by Sauron anyway, right?
Well,
he get betrayed by Sauron.
I don't think he gets betrayed. He gets defeated.
Okay.
But then it's almost like he doesn't go away. Or he doesn't die. That's that first episode. Yeah, I don't know. It's a while since I watched that shit.
Just watch. They'll pull some bullshit. It'll be like, ooh, it's going to be new Lord of the Rings content. And then we're just going to see Shadow of Mordor play.
That's honestly what I'd prefer. I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, they should just do Shadow of Mordor.
Which would be fire. An individual story. They don't need like a fellowship. They don't need a big sort of crew. Singular story, singular hero that you can get behind in that world would be fucking sick.
Yeah.
The story, man. The story is like he dies, and then a soul of a what's his face essentially takes over him.
Yeah, an elven king.
Elven king takes over him. And that's how I think eventually they end up creating the rings and all that sort of stuff. And that Elven King is more than likely Sauron. They never got to finish the game.
Yeah.
Damn.
We literally had to imagine a third, Shadow series game.
Damn.
But that was great because you did have all of the war and all that sort of stuff, and you had Mordor and not Mordor. Yeah, you did have Mordor.
Yeah, it was one of the Rangers towers surveying Mordor.
Yeah.
Which is pretty mad because you haven't seen that landscape before in the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
like
great
that.
as well. The story's
I'm sick of producers getting on the mic and then going, yeah, this one's going to be all good. Like, see the finished product first.
Yeah.
And then I want you to be honest. Because Cameron's even done this shit. Where he's like, yeah, you need to see this one because it's next level. And you see it, and it's like, no, it was not next level, right? And you lied to us.
And you knew. I could see it in your face.
Exactly. And then, like, comes back in other interviews. Yeah, it wasn't the best. Of course it wasn't the best. How much they pay you for that line?
Is there any like QA they have in the background where it's like, hey, yeah, we can do this, but give me a script first before I greenlight any form of funding?
The QA is terrible with movies. When I think about it, you have to wait until the movie is shot and everything and roughly cut together before you can put it out there to go get screen tested, yeah?
Yeah, to get notes.
You cannot change any of that stuff. That's locked in. That's it. Like, what are you going to do with it after? You can't manipulate it. You can't do anything after that. It's done. You change something, it's going to fuck up your story.
It's probably like, part of the reason why like AAA games usually do really well, because they have to storyboard fucking everything out, have a solid script before they can even get to animating. They need to be able to see what they're making. And that's why your director needs to be on point too.
That's why Blade Runner is a movie that it is. That's why Alien is the movie that it is. Sorry, I'm all over fucking what's his face's nuts right now.
Ridley.
But he gets it. He understands that people need to see it before they can make it, before they can execute it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he gets it. That's why he will storyboard every scene. That's why the Wachowskis storyboarded the whole Matrix movie.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of stuff that's not in that movie. Would have been fucking fire if it was in that movie. It was not in there. Which means that they were like critical of the stuff that they were doing, and they could sort of get rid of that, get rid of this. We're not doing this more. Like they get it.
Yeah.
This visual medium, that's what you should be doing. Tarantino does the exact same thing.
Yep. But with reference tracks and like movies.
Yeah. But Tarantino is also that guy who like it's all in his head, but it's so grounded in his mind that it's almost one for one when he puts it behind that camera too.
He already knows. Like while they're reading the script, like he will, what's his face? He will play the music that he's written it down in the script. Okay, this is gonna play. So he will play the music for them so they can literally see it, and then he'll show them storyboards and stuff that he's done, and like that's the way it's supposed to be done, man. That's the work. That's the work of the director to go through and do all that. Some of these directors aren't doing the fucking work.
Yeah. We gotta stop giving like content creators a chance on a whim. That's what we need to stop doing.
Yeah.
You can't be that guy who's like just like pulled his nose up from the cocaine board and is like, yep, let's do that one. That one's good.
You want a line? I met in the script.
It's just the Billy Butcher. Come on, son. Have a bump.
But I know that I'll be interested in seeing what they put out in terms of the first footage, the first trailer, the first look. I'm going to be there.
As long as Zaslav doesn't go full fucking woke, I'm with you.
Yeah. 100%.
Go woke, go what?
Broke.
All right, our last piece of news there. So, big exciting news. One that I've actually been waiting on, a little bit worried because I thought they were going to can it with all the recent cannings, especially of the Overlook series that J.J. Abrams has produced. Thank God that he's not producing this one, because Welcome to Derry is a go at HBO Max, receiving a full series order. Andy Muschietti and Barbara Muschietti is coming back to play with the show, with the series.
Fucking A.
Because they said that there was so much that they couldn't include in the It movies that they want to explore here. So I'm hoping that it's content that was created for the books. It is set in the late 1960s, which would put it in line with the age of It before the events of the movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting time period because it's also the first time period from the original book.
That's what I was just gonna say.
So that like there's so much that they can mine from here. They can even go further back because the story of it is so rich and sprawling across different time periods that they've got almost infinite content, enough at least for, I reckon, like 2 or 3 seasons.
Mate, just those sections of the book is enough content there.
Yeah.
And you need someone with imagination to build it out, but still,
Yeah.
there's enough content there for 2 or 3 seasons.
Is it
Yeah.
weird that I'm low-key hoping that this doesn't start with the meteor crashing, or however, like, thingy comes, and it gives us an introduction before that happens?
I hope so too.
I want to see the what's his face throw up the galaxy. I want to see the turtle throw up the galaxy.
They've got to do that shit. They've got to do it, and they got to show the turtle. They got to go into the cosmic side of it, and do that, because I don't think that side is boring. I know it sounds boring. You know when you say cosmic, and then Oz is like, H.P. Lovecraft, ooh, and they like smoking on their pipes and shit like that. It's not that sort of like
No.
hitherto sort of horror that H.P. Lovecraft does. It is proper science fiction with a horror blend in there, and it worked so well.
Yeah.
So hopefully that is done right. I have faith in Muschietti. Probably have more faith if Fukunaga was on this one and developing this, but I know he'll never worked with Warner's.
That's true.
Sad news though. So you get the good with the bad. Succession is ending with season 4. It is sad, but in saying that, it is going to be a definitive end that was actually planned for. So this one will end and will wrap up the story of the Roys, which has just been a roller coaster ride the whole way through. A roller coaster. Did you see that interview with Brian Cox about the that plays Kendall, Jeremy Strong?
No.
Because Cox was like, I fucking hate method acting. Why rob yourself of all that joy by putting yourself through that? It's like, Jeremy is talented. Jeremy is fucking gifted. He was like he doesn't need to do all that shit to get off on the role of what he's doing.
Not at all.
It's like this guy he's at that stage in his life where he's just past all the bullshit pretense and whatnot. He's just like, nah, I just want to live. I want to be in the moment.
Yeah.
Well, this is the guy that tells people to fuck off when they ask for autographs and shit, and now people come up and they're like, can you tell us to fuck off? He's like, oh, fuck
Give
off.
you an autograph. Fuck. I love just watching the I love just watching the best of fuck off clips of Logan Roy. Fuck off. Fuck off.
Fuck off, Shipley. Sometimes he does some real fast ones. And I love it. Like, you just throw it in there.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. But then on the flip side, right over at Disney, Favreau was saying The Mandalorian has no signs of slowing down. They have not put an end season to the show, and it's just going to keep going.
Hey man, as long as Pedro can do the voice, yeah, we're good. We can keep going with this.
Yeah,
because this is 5 years after Return, so you got a hell of time to play with.
Yeah. I just hope the story just keeps getting compelling, and it's not just like serial adventures in the galaxy, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like some of them need to be that, but I want to see like more story.
Mm.
I would like
Mandalore, because I haven't seen much of that. I don't know much of the Mandalorian lore.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Admittedly, I was kind of looking for, like, the bounty lore. Sort of every episode is a contained episode. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Bounty lore.
But I would like to. I would like to at least know that there's like an honorable end for Mando as well as
Yeah.
or Din Djarin. To know that
Yeah.
there's an end where he's not appeased his culture, but he's goes out in how he wants to go out. He goes out on his own terms, Willem Dafoe
Yeah.
styles.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. What I don't want to see it become is Hercules. Remember the adventures of Hercules and how because that's what Mandalorian sort of reminds me of, is the adventures of Hercules. But when we were excited for it and we would just tune in every Friday while chicken chippies.
Yes.
And Boy Meets World and all that shit. That used to be like the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
But Hercules we were especially excited for. And then it just got to a point where we were like, fuck Hercules. I don't want to watch this shit anymore. And we just didn't.
Yeah, we didn't. We just stopped.
Yeah.
Because then we'd just be like, let's get $9 and go to Video Maze. Just go rent 7 weeklies and just smash through it in 2 days. Curate the vibes for the whole weekend.
It was. The vibes were strong.
Fucking
Vibes was fucking strong back in the day.
The kids don't understand. Like, Netflix is too many movies.
Yeah.
You need to go to a place where it's limited movies and there's not too many of them, so you need to get in quick. And those are the movies that you're setting up to watch for the rest of your weekend.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the overnightlies just being scarce and fucking
Especially on a Friday.
Oh man.
If you hit that Video Maze on a Friday at 6,
yeah,
you could hire nothing but Mind Ripper and Decoy. So what Oz used to do was put the videotape of them go to Video Maze early, put the videotape of the movie that we wanted to hire behind Decoy, and then come back 2 hours later and be like, "Oh, looks like I found the copy." And Oz be like, "I had that booked in for this tonight."
And first in, first served, mate.
Who's got the videotape though?
Finders keepers champion.
Waiting. Wait for the late fees, mate.
Wait for the late fees a wild one. Let's I don't know. You're not even going to return it by 11 the next day.
Not even tomorrow you're getting it. Wait for Sunday. You wait for Sunday.
You're going to have to wait till next week because I'm really dropping it in on the late shoot on Monday.
Those vibes are curated extremely well.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of everything with 7 weeklies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
Mostly
right.
action and sci-fi, but still, you got some really good movies.
Yeah. Horror heavy in the winter. Comedy heavy in the spring, summer.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we're missing, man. Maybe that's what we're missing. The curated season.
When you were saying that, I was like, I looked through everything on Netflix. And I looked through the new releases and then the normal regular shit that they have. But I never look at my list. My list should be the curated shit.
Yeah.
But who the fuck goes there? You know what I mean? I never look at my list on Netflix.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I got a list on my phone of movies I need to watch, and I'll scroll through them on Apple or wherever. I'm like, oh yeah. But then there's just so much. I'm just like, fuck this. Just go back to playing fucking Persona 5 or something. I'll make up my mind eventually.
But being in the store, you had to choose.
Yeah.
You couldn't just be like, I'll find something. No. You had to choose.
Yeah.
And once your choice was made, it was locked in.
That's right.
Maybe that's...
You didn't want to be the O that walks up and goes, can I have pure luck back?
Yeah.
Because I want to go pick something else. It was like, you'd get the filthiest look. Played yourself. Same. Miss the smell of the video store, actually.
Same. All that
good
plastic.
times. Yeah.
That's all it
And
was.
lost dreams.
Yeah.
All right. That is a wrap for all the news this week. Quite a bit of news.
Hmm.
All right. So, getting into our thoughts, we watched Shrinking, episode 6. This is called Imposter Syndrome. A big episode. This was a lot of culmination of the past episodes, and you get the payoffs in this one. And it was even more conflict and sort of it created a lot more shit. So from the events of last episode where it ended with Dr. Paul telling his daughter that he's got Parkinson's, you never actually get to see that call.
Yeah.
Which killed me because Harrison Ford looked like he was about to just like get into that call. And I was just like getting the tissues ready for the start of the episode, and then I just had to push him away when it dropped. But Jimmy's friend bought the ring to engage to propose to his partner, and like the whole episode is about setting up this surprise engagement party at Jimmy's place, and Jimmy's supposed to play like this pivotal role and literally play the piano, playing Joe Cocker's "You Are So Beautiful to Me."
Oh God!
While this guy sings, and then everything just goes off the rails. So at that party, everyone's talking about Tia, who was Jimmy's wife that passed, and how they were a great couple together, and all these reminders. And Jimmy just gets fucking drunk. I was just like, this guy is gonna get destroyed. Sean and Alice kind of Alice tries to put the moves on Sean. Sean isn't having it.
No.
He makes the right choice. She's underage.
Calls her a little kid, which is wild. Like his choice of words was really, really crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he wasn't seeing the relationship the same way that she was.
No.
Which was crazy because I almost think that the relationship that he wants with her is like that of his little brother.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the younger sibling sort of relationship.
Sibling. Yeah.
And he actually wants to be there. Dr. Paul, Harrison Ford's character, gets these fucking edible gummies that he almost... Yeah. and after saying that he won't be at the engagement party, rocks up. Fucking high as shit. Still doesn't know what raw dogging means.
God, that was wild as well.
I know. Don't ever raw dog me again. Oh man. What was crazy? And I love that they actually went here with the episode. So Jimmy doesn't want to face into the fact that his wife has passed.
Yeah. And
the reason why he doesn't want to do that is because of the trauma associated with the relationship they had before she died. So you actually get more insight into their relationship in that she passed, like they were fighting at the time, and they were fighting really, really bad.
Yeah.
So for him, he's almost feeling like she didn't love me, or she was getting ready to leave me.
Yeah.
So I don't like. He must be like so confused in that instance because he's like, I loved her, but she hated me.
Yeah.
And there was probably,
she was basically, he probably felt like she was just there for Alice.
Yeah. And like there's probably a certain amount of guilt as well that goes along with that.
Well, he was thinking, he tells Paul in one of the episodes that he was thinking about leaving her as well. Yeah.
but it might have been that preemptive leave.
Yeah.
You know, like you're thinking of leaving, I'm thinking of leaving you because you're going to leave me.
I'll beat you to it.
The race has begun. Fucking kick it to me.
And it was crazy how that gets kicked off in the episode with Jimmy's trauma and how it's that joke with, I wanted to beat traffic. And then he's like, you've said that joke before. And then, like, it goes back to that time when he did say it. It's such a bad joke because they're next door neighbors. He's like, you're the first ones here. I wanted to beat traffic.
The guy's delivery is so good.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself, Pam.
Eat a dick, Pam.
But yeah. And then Jimmy kind of gets transported back to this time when him and Tia were together. She was alive, and they had this last party there.
Mm.
And then, yeah, that brings up all these old memories, and with everyone congratulating him, or not congratulating him, but like giving their condolences and whatnot, it just brings up all that shit for him. So he gets like drunk as fuck, and he confides in Gabby to that Tia felt that way, and Gabby's like, well, no, because she talked to me about everything, and he said, well, she wouldn't tell you everything.
Yeah,
she wouldn't tell you that she's leaving because we're really close, like me and you are really close. And then Jimmy asked for proof that Tia still loved him at the end, and then Jimmy gets called in to do his little piano solo, and then ends up fucking like getting into it and singing along like full Joe Cocker styles.
Really belted out that cocker, eh?
He got the voice so well. And he just like, he gets so into it, and then he just throws up on the fucking piano. Like full on projectile everywhere. And then he basically disappears from the party. Jimmy's mate actually proposes.
Yeah.
But he does it in private. And I thought that was better than doing it in front of everyone.
100%.
Because weirdly, that's how I was going to propose. So I was going to propose on Christmas Eve in front of Jules's family when we were opening presents.
Oh, God.
And then I thought about it, and I was like, no, like Jules doesn't even like that. Like she doesn't like the grandstanding and all that bullshit. I was like, nah, I'm gonna do it in private while wrapping presents. And that's where I did it. And I was like, it wasn't the biggest romantic gesture, but you know what? 15 years in, motherfucker, we're still going strong.
That's what B said as well. She was like, I don't want a public proposal. If anything, it needs to be private.
People got to stop doing that shit. No more Disney World sort of fucking proposals in front of the flash mob and shit.
You know what's the most disrespectful shit I've seen recently?
What?
Motherfucker proposed at someone else's wedding.
Ooh.
Damn.
Sorry?
Who did this?
This was on TikTok, dog.
Yeah, righto.
At least wait until you get home. Like, have the highs, experience that shit. I know. That's the dirtiest piggyback.
Take your bitch outside. And then, hit her with it. And then that's it. What did
She said no.
Exactly.
Fuck that whole wedding up. Like, ooh.
Fuck. I just thought of that meme where it's just, if I ever propose in public, she better say yes. That uppercut coming from the floor is crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
All right.
What does Paul tell them in that scene?
It's what's his face. It's not peer pressure. It's emotional blackmail, and
Yes.
it completely is.
Mm.
Paul was fucking hilarious.
What
He was like,
saying?
I need a drink. Give me a popsicle.
You know what I love in that scene? Is like, so what if Jimmy doesn't have any? Well, then you can go get from yours. He's not getting one of the good ones.
But then the next request, hey waiter, I need something cheesy and crunchy. He's so good. This is like, it's up there with some of my favorite Harrison Ford roles. It really is. Like, he gets the most varied shit to do in this show.
Woof.
But yeah, then the episode after Jimmy's all cleaned up and whatnot, Gabby goes to him in his room, and already I was like, "Ooh, little something over there." You know, to put someone in their room after a shower. That's the danger zone, son.
That is the danger zone. There's like not too many layers between you either.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? I don't know if that man's wearing underwear.
Alcohol flowing,
Yeah.
especially if you're in a robe.
It's
Watch
over.
it. Anyways, this was wild. The rollout for this was wild because she shows him. She's like, "This was a dinner that you had," and Jimmy's doing a speech, and then on the left of him is Tia, and she's looking at him, and she's like, "That's the look that lets me know that's proof that she loved you."
Mm-hmm.
And then it almost like assuages a lot of what Jimmy was kind of going through. Obviously, he hasn't done the work yet and worked through it, but like the relief that he would have felt. But then they kiss, they hook up. Gabby and Jimmy didn't expect it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it because it's something different, but even this is going to be off the rails because this is another way that Jimmy brings his work home with him.
That's right.
But it's also that Jimmy and Tia were fighting so much because Jimmy was always working. So you can see why going into the office was such a hard thing for him at the start of the show. This ends on another cliffhanger. I was just like, adieu. As soon as she like planted one, as soon as like she kissed him, I knew that was the end of the episode. And I was like, go on, roll your credits then.
Keep your secrets.
Yeah, man. There's something that Paul tells them outside though. When they get married. When he says yes. About patience, I think. Something funny.
Wasn't it like barriers or something? No barriers or
No barriers, yeah, something around there, yeah.
Yeah. But it was sage advice. Then he disappears into the fray. But yeah, another fucking awesome episode, man. These go down too easy.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to watch them all again because I will.
Mm.
Like for some reason, this the guy that's the creator of the show. I will watch the shows again.
Yeah.
Like I've watched Ted Lasso like twice already. Both seasons twice already.
That is a very rewatchable show.
It is.
Ted Lasso coming out soon as well. Another March release.
Fucking oath.
I think it comes out the same week as Yellow Jackets. That'll be fire.
Shit.
I don't know if I want the comedy then the horror or the horror then the comedy.
But
I'll take them both.
Did you figure out what day Yellow Jackets was coming on?
Thought it was 17th. And I think that's the same day Swarm comes out.
Yellow Jacket season 2, 26th of March.
That's good. We get a week.
So what day is that?
Sunday.
It's a Monday release.
The Monday release, very good. I need things to watch on a Monday, to tell you the truth.
It is season 2, yeah?
Yeah, season 2.
Well, there's no Last of Us in the next 3 weeks, so
No, but there's something coming out after Last of Us. 2 weeks after Last of Us drops, something else is coming out.
Sorry, they're big dogs. Friday, March 24th. So it's premiere on air March 26th.
So what? It comes out on the Saturday over here.
It might come out the same day, to be honest. Might come out the Friday here too.
Maybe the Friday night they're champion.
I like that.
Sunday pod's going to be firing on all cylinders.
Fucking earth. We got Mando on Wednesday this week as well.
Mando drops, yes.
You guys have a couple of premieres there. We have a couple of premieres actually.
Yeah, we got a lot to watch. So I get like we get to dip our toes in what it'd almost be like to be reviewing full time. But yeah, we got Empire of Light on Monday, tomorrow night. Little premiere screening. Then we got Till in the morning on Tuesday. And then we got the Creed 3 Sydney premiere on Tuesday night, which is crazy. So, yeah, quite a busy pod on Thursday there, champions.
A busy bee indeed.
Might just have to fan all that news and then like go
just
into
have
the thoughts
review
there.
episode for the Thursday.
Yeah, that's all the news and reviews for this part of the week. But we will be back on Thursday with thoughts on all those movies. Follow us on all social media: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Give us a like and a subscribe. And yeah, we shall see you soon. Thursday. But yeah, love yourself, love movies.
Vape more, smoke less, and wash your ass.